Sarah Anderson.
There it goes. Let's see where it ends. She needs to get this stone to be shot stone on the left side behind the two guards.
She's signaling that she's a touch
Well
wide,
shot.
wants it to curl for sure. Sweepers need to go to get this to shot rock.
Needs to go.
And
Great
they'll
shot.
just get shot rock, biting the corner of the forefoot. And Amber Holland's going to take a look at what she has here. She might see a sliver of that red from the hack. It didn't get buried much at all under her own red-colored guards, just maybe 3/4 underneath the yellow that Amber Holland just threw. So the soft weight hit is going to be accessible to her. We'll see if she's going to take it on.
It's not an easy shot though. And
no, we saw Amber Holland just miss a shot similar to this back in the fourth end, which gave Sarah Anderson a deuce. And we'll see she's going to look to make good on it here. This is a different spot, though.
Well, if she can make it, obviously she basically disassembles the context that Team Anderson was building to score 2 here, and makes up for her first stone.
There it is.
Let's see the line as it goes into view.
It's moving a lot now. Sweeper's got to stay on it. Now curling. Got to catch enough of this red to get rid of it.
Good.
And she will. Nice throw from Amber Holland. Gets rid of the shot rock, and it's yellow sitting 3 now as Sarah Anderson throws her last. And she'll be forced here, best case scenario for the American team.
So she has 2 options. She can either draw or hit for the 1.
The way the ice is here, it looks like she's taking the draw. Which the skip always wants to throw what she's comfortable with, but drawing against 3 is always scary no matter where the rocks are.
Especially if you need to sit, you need to land within the 4 foot.
Yeah, she's going to need about half in the 4 to score her single point here and tie this game up back at 4. Here's Sarah Anderson, the skip out of Minneapolis, Minnesota, United States, drawing against 3 on the outturn side, trying to score her 1 in the 6th end.
Line looks good. Now let's see about the weight.
Sweeper's really got to go to get this to the 4 foot here. Looks like it's going to come up a touch light.
It's a bit light. It's a bit light. They need to... Oh, and it's 2. No.
It might... I think it might just be 1 yellow.
1 for sure.
It's definitely close, though.
1 for sure. Maybe it's just a 1.
That actually is very close. They'll have to take a close look at that one.
Measure?
We might be seeing a measure here. The thirds are taking a look at it.
Might, again, the camera might not be helping our cause, but it might be just a 1. I wouldn't put my money on it, but I would say maybe just a 1.
We'll see. It looks like they're gonna call for the stick here to measure this one.
It's going to be a measure.
A little bit of drama here in the 6th end.
Oh.
If you're watching us on YouTube, feel free to type in the live chat who you think is shot rock, or second shot rather.
Well, Josh, I have nightmares with measurements. I've seen I don't know if any of the viewers here were following the World Mixed Doubles qualifying event that took place in Dumfries last week. Well, Portugal team finished twice with a measurement. We won one of the games though. It's not too bad.
It's always one you hold your breath on.
Oh yeah.
Take a look here. They're going to spin it around the long way.
And it's
seems
red.
that is red.
So
So it's only going to be a
just
single
one.
for Amber Holland. She'll take a 5-3 lead into the 7th end here in draw 15. Or are they going to measure the second time? No. It'll be a single
It's a
for Amber
single.
Holland. She'll take a 5-3 lead going into the 7th. The Sarah Anderson team out of Minneapolis will have the hammer when we return for 7.
Well,
Imagine being able to stream every curling game from every sheet from any event, be it your Wednesday league game, bonspiel, or corporate event. Curling Stadium offers an all-inclusive streaming solution featuring high-quality cameras, ease of use, great reliability, and minimal installation. Offering your sponsors customizable ad space on your streamed curling games and being able to sell video packages to your corporate events for increased revenue. With Curling Stadium, you can stream to any device, be it your mobile phone, tablet, or computer. Push the feed to your desired platform, be it Facebook, YouTube, or any other social media. Curling Stadium is simply the way forward. Where it's commonplace in other sports to televise every game, we want to do the same. Curling is a global sport, and it's time it gets the coverage it needs. Make your curling club the next Curling Stadium.
Well, what do y'all think? Too blue? Not blue enough? Try this.
Makes your eyes pop.
This could be our best yield yet.
And didn't we get this seed at a great financing rate?
Yeah, we did.
Iced tea?
Great idea.
Let's talk more about next year. I got some thoughts.
And I've got some numbers.
Nutrien Financial, financing that's in the field with you.
SaskTel Be Kind Online wants to stop cyberbullying. Want in on the action? We award up to $1,000 for youth initiatives that help spread kindness and prevent bullying. What great idea do you have to help stop bullying? SaskTel can help. Go to BeKindOnline.com and apply for a grant today. Together, we can make a difference.
Welcome back. You're watching the World Curling Tour on curlingzone.com. And draw 15 of the Nutrien Ag Solutions Western Showdown here from the iPlex in Swift Current, Saskatchewan. You just saw a steal of 1 from the Amber Holland team out of Kronau, Saskatchewan, resulting in a 2-point lead for her entering the 7th end. It's the Sarah Anderson team out of Minneapolis, Minnesota with the hammer here. And I guess it's time to talk about what's the best way to approach this end for Sarah Anderson. Being Town 2 with the hammer, you know, you're sort of in a tough spot where you need 3 points at least to win the game. Do you try and get your deuce here and then hope for the steal in the 8th?
well, I don't
Or do you
think
blank and try and score a 3?
it's going to be really tough to score a 3 against Amber Holland. So, well, yeah, get the 2, try to steal in the last end. It's not an easy mission. And just addressing the comment in the chat, so Tim Scholes was saying it should have been 2, or I thought it was 2. It was not Tim, it was just the 1. So Tim, Josh is part of the Portugal men's team. So
Awesome to see some fans and some curlers from all around the world, especially from countries you might expect to be curling nations.
Well, he doesn't have a very Portuguese name, but he does live in Lisbon.
I think I agree with you, though. I think you go for your deuce here, and with the 5 rock rule and the no tick rule, steals are never out of play. You jumble up a bunch in the in front of the rings on the center line and try and steal your way to the win, but the first step is always getting your deuce here for sure.
I think in the 8th end, well, after they get their 2 in this, well, if they do, but let's assume that Sarah Anderson can get the 2 here, then she needs to summon her inner mixed doubles player, and in the 8th, try to steal, because it's not an easy mission.
Yeah, you gotta start with the deuce here for sure, yeah.
Curling can sometimes be, how should I put it? a bit mean because a small mistake in this case in the sixth end basically puts you in a very tough situation for the next two ends. It is a very lovely and unforgiving game.
This is the American second in the hack, Lexi Lanigan. Joined this team last year, and this team won a bronze medal at the United States National Championships last season as their first year as a team.
We're still growing. They're a good team, still growing.
Yeah, they're about the third, fourth ranked team in the States right now. There's a lot of good curlers coming out of the States these days, especially. You know, you've seen Corey Dropkin specifically, you know, sort of came out of the shadows at the Tier 2 Grand Slam a couple of years ago and really burst onto the scene as a team to be taken seriously for sure.
U.S. curling has been evolving a lot in these past few years, so it's to be expected that we're starting to get really good teams coming out of that.
And there were spots in the United States where you would maybe least expect them to be curling hotspots, you know, maybe even less than Portugal, spots like California and Arizona and Texas and Florida that now have curling clubs popping up and players who want to learn how to play the sport recreationally and professionally.
Well, yes. Well, I could tell you, for example, our silver medalists in our national mixed doubles were curling out of Sacramento. So there you go. We do also have a Portuguese community in that area, and we hope to grow our numbers there as well. We, again, not having home ice, we try to get our athletes our competitive program athletes wherever we can.
I believe the Americans are doing a good job at implementing curling programs into schools, teaching the game to youth, stuff like that. And I think that's one thing that I think the U.S. does as a country very well is promote athletics and grow sports like this very quickly. You've seen it in hockey, in curling. You know, I think
well, definitely
the U.S., if they aren't already a curling powerhouse, they will be very soon.
And you'll see more curling nations emerging in the next few years. The WCF has grown a lot in these past 5 years, and again, with this change in leadership, so now the WCF, this is the second year of the new president, Bo Wellington, and yeah, I think we could expect different and good things from the WCF going forward, and curling in general. Not just in Europe, but also in other continents. And as I say this, Team Anderson is in serious trouble, Josh.
Yeah, there's a lot of yellow in the rings. Still opportunities to get behind some red corner guards, but they're going to have to do it quick. As this end is coming around to the back end quickly. As
starting
this is,
to run out of stones to score too.
Yeah, exactly. This is Taylor Anderson in the hack now. Twin sister of the skip, Sarah. You're going to let this one go. Just coming to the center. Trying to maybe touch back this shot rock a touch and sit on top of it. This is curling a lot early. Sweepers are holding it up well.
The line looks
gonna come
good.
close to that
the line
yellow
looks
at
really
the top.
Good.
Gonna bounce off just behind that yellow.
But it's not a bad stone at all. Finishes, yeah, it's not biting the forefoot, but it's hidden behind one of Team Holland's stones, one of their guards.
Kim Schneider about to throw her final rock of the seventh end here. Kim Schneider's been on this Holland team for 4 years now, joined the team in 2020-2021, and has been going strong since then. The only change to this Amber Holland team this season was the addition of Jill Springer in replacement of Carly Korchinski, who took a step back from the team. As I said, Amber Holland has been skipping some form of her team since 1991, has played with a lot of decorated curlers, including Kay Montgomery, Jolene Campbell, Kathy Overton-Clapham, and more. Kim Schneider actually has a lot of experience playing with Amber Holland back in the mid-2000s to early 2010s as well, before they went separate ways for about 8-10 years before rejoining back again. So definitely some chemistry on this back end for the Holland rink.
Well, second stone for Kim Schneider. Line looks good. Needs to curl.
Starting to move now, as we've seen all game. Late
Curling a
curl
lot
coming
now.
in.
And it should stop. Yes, perfect.
Solid shot from Kim Schneider.
And now Team Anderson can no longer play that double unless they do it via a run back, which would be extremely difficult.
Looks like the Anderson team might be content to get rid of that guard just thrown by Kim Schneider and roll over on top of that yellow, maybe just biting top 12 there, and sit for basically a secondary guard protecting their red rock, which is currently sitting third. I think that's what they're banking on being a counter here if they can generate a multiple point score. Really don't want to be forced here if you're Sarah Anderson. That's about worst case scenario.
Well, if they're forced there, it's going to be it's not mission impossible for the 8th end, but it's mission almost impossible.
Mission almost impossible. I like that. Looks like we had handshakes on another men's sheet. We'll take a look there and see what happened in that one.
There you go. The attempt of a double takeout with the run back.
It was handshakes between Michael Brunner of Bern, Switzerland, and Karsten Sturmey out of the Saville Club in Edmonton, Alberta. An 8-3 final, as Michael Brunner will advance to the playoff round after that decision. Karsten Sturmey will go home with a C final appearance, as we see the final few teams eliminated. On the men's side, only one playoff spot remains, and it will be determined. If I can switch my screen here, it'll be determined between Ryan Weed and Corey Dropkin. Corey Dropkin currently leading that one 4-2 in the 7th end of play over the young rink from Winnipeg, Manitoba, making a good showing here. Skip rocks here in the 7th end. Amber Holland prepares to throw her first.
And the idea might be to put one behind the Team Anderson guard. Just complicate things a little bit more. Again, Amber Holland might be happy to just force Team Anderson to 1 point here.
More than happy to force Team Anderson. As here is Amber Holland, skip from Saskatchewan, throwing her first here in the 7th end. Without the hammer, but up by 2 points. Looks like she's just looking for the centerline guard here, with where Kim Schneider's broom is. Jill Springer taking over the sweep here. Line looks close. They got to go to get this where it needs to be. It's not going to be as deep as they want it.
Barely
and
over
that
the
one
hog,
is hogged.
It's not. And then once again, Just like in the fourth and in the sixth, also here in the seventh, we see the first stone by Amber Holland being, well, in the first two instances, it was a minor mistake. This one, a hog line violation, and was removed. It didn't go past the hog line, so
You'd expect it's a little bit tough ice to draw on today because of the difficulties both teams have been having. We're up
still,
to 279 viewers on YouTube. Thanks for stopping by, watching the Western Showdown here on the World Curling Tour. Hello to Gavin. Hello to Tim again, Bill, Steve, Rick. Thanks for watching with us. It's been a pleasure calling this game so far, and hopefully we have one more end in both of us. I know it's getting pretty late in Portugal now, if it wasn't before.
it's almost 2 a.m.
It's almost 2 a.m. You have a lot more dedication to this sport than I think I do. Wow.
Well, Josh, I remember, again, there's not a lot of Portuguese commentators over here. We're starting to build a community for that as well.
Mhm.
But I remember doing the Olympics, the last one, in the ones that took place in China. It was tough. I was doing games at 4 a.m. most days. So, and then adding off to obviously to work, because this is not my full-time job.
Mhm.
So that was a tough month. This is just fun. This is a bit of fun.
Yeah, it reminds me of the days of being a kid and waking up at early hours in the morning during the years where the World Championships were in European countries, and waking up early in the morning, 5, 6 a.m. to watch Canada play.
Well, good news for you. This year you get to do the same thing. Apparently the men's is in Switzerland.
Beautiful.
And if everything goes okay, I'll be there.
Great to hear. I'll have to turn on the Portuguese commentary.
Well, maybe I won't be commenting. I think I have to go there in person for the first time.
Okay.
But who knows?
Well, Amber Holland's settling in for her final rock of the 7th end now.
There we go.
Looking to make a little bit better of that guard. I think she was throwing on her first rock, I believe. We'll see what she's got in her back pocket here.
Team Anderson still has a shot for 2, although
Maybe
it's
not quite.
really
It's
not
definitely
very easy. And
the hit.
now
She's going to nose this red here. Take away the angle run. Yeah.
And if I was Team Anderson, this was the moment where I would start considering my options. There is a diagonal raise there, but it would be a very, very tricky shot.
I don't know if there is one there for shot. Like, to get in there and sit to getting rid of that back one is insanely tough.
Let's just say that if Sarah Anderson was to pull this off, it would be one of those shots that you'd be remembering for life.
I think you might just have to take your one and run back that yellow just maybe biting. Or maybe she sees, I think she sees enough of this yellow here just outside the forefoot that she can try and make this double.
It's really
not sure.
The margin is minimal.
I'm wondering where she thinks this rock's gonna go.
Because I think it's going to hit her own rock.
Well, it is no doubt, but I think she's banking on the it's sort of spinning off and catching that one in the back, maybe. This is a real tough shot, and it's one that missed the wrong way essentially ends the game. A steal of 2 here for Amber Holland is essentially handshakes. And here comes down the last rock for the skip from Minnesota.
The line looks okay.
It's a little bit tight here.
Swirling a lot. Oh, and
she's going to touch the guard. And it's going to be another steal for Amber Holland.
Yes.
Just the
one. And I don't know if this is handshakes.
I don't think so. Anderson will keep the hammer. It'll be a 6-3 lead for Amber Holland when we return. Sarah Anderson of Minneapolis will have the hammer heading into the 8th.
I've been farming on my own right for 40 years now, I think. It's a very wholesome enterprise. You have very, very busy periods when you have to go hard. So many of our windows are so tight that you just can't afford to miss a couple days of seeding.
When a producer places their trust in us, that when it's time for them to be able to make their living, we're going to be there. That's a tremendous responsibility that is not a one-day-a-year thing, right? In order to actually deliver on that, you have to build your processes and you have to build your team and you have to have a mindset of operational excellence, because there's a lot of things that can go wrong. And it's our job to make sure that they don't go wrong. Or if they do go wrong, that we can fix it before it affects our customer.
So with the impact to my business and income, will this delay my retirement?
I know you're worried, Marshall, but based on the original plan we came up with, you're only about 6 months behind.
I thought it would be years, not months.
You should feel good. Remember, you've got a plan.
Thanks.
With change comes questions. See the impact of your money decisions before you make them with RBC Wealth Plan.
Light up your love for curling with our customizable neon LED lights from Letterlands. Choose your new neon mixed doubles partner or make a statement with a neon curling rock in your window. Also actual Letterlands. Use discount code WHOA for 15% off. Only at Letterlands.com.
Welcome back to the land of living skies. We're in Swift Current, Saskatchewan, watching the World Curling Tour on curlingzone.com. Draw 15, the last non-playoff draw of the Nutrien Ag Solutions Western Showdown. It's a 6-3 lead. Amber Holland of Kronau, Saskatchewan holds over Sarah Anderson of Minneapolis, Minnesota. And it's been all Amber Holland in this back half of the game. 4 unanswered points gives Amber Holland this lead, and it's going to be a 3-spot held over Sarah Anderson's head to keep this game going. And we'll see double corners out of the team from Minnesota early in this 8th end. As you'd expect, they're going to the same side here, which is a little bit different than we've seen most teams here. 4 points gives them the win, 3 pushes it to an extra.
They need a big end in this 8 and last end, Josh. It's not going to be easy.
Yeah, it's going to be a tough one in a game where Sarah Anderson has really struggled to generate multiple point opportunities with Hammer, as that second corner guard is going to slip into the rings.
Needs to be the perfect end.
Amber Holland will take a look and see if she can get to that. And I think she believes she can. Take a look at how much Jill Springer has from the hack. Maybe about a thin quarter. Maybe a good quarter. But she's going to take this on anyway. Hack weight is the call from Amber Holland. And we'll see if she can get to this. If Jill can get this red out of there, that'll be a really big
shot.
Step towards getting rid of this American team here and knocking them out of the playoffs. That was a tough mistake from the American lead. I believe that was Leah Yavro. This one's a touch wide. Needs to really curl up here. Not sure if it will. Looks like it might be just a touch heavy. And she's going to miss it.
And
touch overthrown, possibly.
Anderson team gets a break here. So let's see what if they can capitalize on this.
They're going to try and make a hit and roll behind those 2 corners there. I'm calling that one biting the top 12 corner. This is Lexi Lanigan throwing her first to the 8th end. And when you need a 3-spot, it's important to get those ones buried and counting in the wings early so that you're not trying to make up shots late in the end with your back end. And this would be a big step towards setting up this multiple point score here. I'm sure Amber Holland won't hesitate to start peeling on her next, no matter where this rock goes. This one needs to curl a long way.
Oh, and it's nose hit
Wow.
almost.
That's going to sit right in front
Not
on the 12-foot,
I
and
don't think
as
this is
predicted,
what
Amber
they
Holland will
wanted.
peel. No, a tough couple shots from the American team there, and not really what they needed starting off in 8th end where they need 3 points. And Jill Springer will get the opportunity to peel this corner guard off and begin, you know, what you'd call the countdown, where you start hitting rocks until the American team doesn't have any left. And with this setup,
Oh, but
she's
it's
got it.
very light. Oh, yeah, she got it.
With this setup, you'd expect the American team needs to make some real big shots to generate anything here. No, not much cover right now. 2 counters in the rings, but they're counting 3rd and 4th shot right now. And they're in a spot where a double isn't impossible. You would have to throw it pretty hard and hit the initial rock pretty thick. But it's not Amber Holland, something that Amber Holland will look at quite yet.
I think we'll be seeing yet another guard being placed here, Josh.
I think they're trying to come straight into the rings.
They're trying to go in.
They're trying to corner freeze that yellow that's just sitting on the top, on the edge of the button there. It looks quite heavy for that, though.
Heavy.
Just gonna bump right off and sit there out in the open.
There's maybe a double here, for sure. And yes.
Amber Holland definitely looking at that nose double, but maybe prioritizes the roll before it.
So we start. So this is still, I think this is Kim Schneider.
This
Looks
is
like.
Kim Schneider, 3rd for the Saskatchewan-based team.
So we are already in the back end.
And they're hard on this one early, trying to hit that back one,
nose
get
hit.
rid of it. Just sneak by that red in the top 12 and hit it right on the nose. It's Amber Holland sitting 3 now. But the American team's got 2 in the rings, 4 more rocks to come. They only need 3 to push this to an extra. So not out of the water yet is Amber Holland. Sarah Anderson's got to try to generate something here, and you almost wonder if she'd ever try and push that yellow back, maybe roll under a corner, but she'll elect for an outturn draw here.
Well, the context hasn't changed that much. She can still try to go inside, because the left yellow is wide open. She can try to do something strange with that. Again,
Well,
not
generally in an 8th end needing a big score, you don't need to kill opposition rocks. It's generally best for you to try and just push them back, leave them as catchers in the back rings. But in an end like this, where they have 2 counters out in front that are just barely hanging on the rings,
there you go.
it's not a good spot for them to do that. They will do just that as they pop that one in there, but it still leaves the double here for Amber Holland,
leaves
which
the
it looks
double,
like she's
yep.
going to take on.
That was what I was trying to hint at, Josh. That yeah, they could try and push the yellow, but I was unsure it would be a good end result, because again, now you leave a double. Obviously, one of these 2 rocks might jam, but I don't think Kim Schneider will will fail this one.
Well, it's a point to the fact that they think that they can score their 3 with the rocks they have left. This one's close for the double, and will
doesn't
get
jam.
contact
Yeah.
with both of them, but not kill that second red.
Oh, and the other one didn't go out, so
Looks like it's Holland sitting at least 3, The fourth is
Maybe
close,
four.
but I think it is red. And Sarah Anderson's going to stick to drawing around the center now. This is a team discussion here as we enter. 3 rocks left for the Sarah Anderson team, and you think the way that this end is setting up, they need all these 3 that they're throwing to count.
Yep.
They have those
Best.
biters on the side, but they got 3 yellows to sort of outcount before they can start thinking about that. And that 4th shot on the intern wing there is not really promotable to anything.
They'll need all 3 stones plus maybe a miss, and it's not looking good, Josh.
Yeah, they're definitely going to need a bit of help from the from Amber Holland here. So here's Taylor Anderson.
She needs basically to remove one of those 3 stones that are left. That's pretty much it. Okay, this is Taylor Anderson. Second and last stone in the 8th end.
Sweepers are hard on this one early.
She's trying to corner freeze it, maybe?
I think
It's
she's just trying to
curling a
put this
lot.
buried, and this is going to wreck on that top yellow there. Push it in for 4th shot, most definitely. And
Yes,
now it's
now
Amber
it's-
Holland sitting 4.
Now it's all of Team Anderson's nightmares
Yeah.
putting together.
It's been a
just
bit of a
not going well.
disastrous 8th end for this Anderson team, and it looks like Amber Holland's going to draw right in there to sit 5.
It's unfortunate. None of the things they were trying to accomplish on this end are coming together. Again, we cannot say that this end has gone well, but it's also a bit unnerving because we know that Team Anderson can play better than this.
Well, it's frustrating when it's from the top down. Really, it was that second corner guard that slipped in the rings that started everything. And there's been a couple missed shots from here or there, and a couple tricky calls when you have a couple biters up there. Normally, you'd try to build up some 2nd or 3rd shots on the wings, and it's not what worked out for Anderson this end. They had a couple biters at the top, which weren't very helpful with pushing stuff back.
And we'll see Team Holland put another stone in to add the pressure.
Yeah, exactly. And now that 5th shot, about to be 6th shot here, I believe. Sitting out there in the wings, that's not very promotable for Anderson. This shot for Amber Holland will slide to the back 4. Not a huge problem for Amber. She might be upset at herself a little bit dropping that one deep, but either way, only 2 shots left for this American team, and they need to find a way to get 3 to count.
I would have probably, if I was in Amber Holland's shoes, I would have tried to at least take one of those 3 stones out.
Well, there's so much yellow back there that, like, the only way you really hurt yourself here is by hitting one of those reds and jamming it, right? That's really the only thing bad. I don't really know what the plan is here. I think it looks like Sarah Anderson's going to try and hit this. This might be a heater, and try and get rid of as many yellows as she can in 2 shots, and hope that she can maybe count with the ones that are already in the rings. This is coming down heavy. She's going to try and get rid of at least a couple yellows, maybe 3 if she can. This is going to get ran straight back. Dead jam. No, it's going to roll out as well. And yeah, again, Amber Holland, you draw this in, and it's a quad, really, that Sarah Anderson needs to be able to score her 3. So not terribly in much danger, Amber Holland here. I don't know if the angles are really even there.
This will be our last stone in this 8N.
depending on where Amber puts this, there might be some kind of angle that they see for some kind of run back. Try to touch all 4 of them, but I don't think all of them are going to go.
It's still going to be a very, very, very tough last stone of the 8 end for Sarah Anderson. Let's see if she even has the shot to win the game. Seeing this last stone come in, maybe not.
And it's going to sit just on top of the tee line.
And again,
And
maybe no shot.
That's handshakes. Sarah Anderson's not going to throw her last rock. Doesn't see what she needs to, and we're going to throw X's up in the 8th. It's going to go down in the books as a 6-3 victory for Amber Holland. She will advance to the playoffs with the 2nd seed out of Group C. Sarah Anderson from Minneapolis, Minnesota will be eliminated in the group stage with a 1-3 record. We want to thank everyone for watching us live on Curling Zone's YouTube channel. It was a pleasure calling this game for you.
Thank you for having me, Josh.
No problem. Thank you for joining me. It was fun. We had a fun time watching the game. And Curling Zone will be back at 9 o'clock tonight for the first draw of the playoffs, so don't miss that. Once again, I've been Josh Uzik, alongside my broadcast partner.
Yeah, with a weird name, João Cardoso. And
thank you for watching, and Curling Zone will be back
everybody.
shortly.
We feed the world with Nutrien, and a large portion of what our job is to get fertilizer out with the carriers so they can get directed to the farms or to the different retail locations. We know that if we don't have the answer to something, we're not afraid to reach out because we have support from everyone. We've got a really good team behind us.
SaskTel Be Kind Online wants to stop cyberbullying. Want in on the action? We award up to $1,000 for youth initiatives that help spread kindness and prevent bullying. What great idea do you have to help stop bullying? SaskTel can help. Go to BeKindOnline.com and apply for a grant today. Together, we can make a difference.
Imagine being able to stream every curling game from every sheet from any event, be it your Wednesday league game, bonspiel, or corporate event. Curling Stadium offers an all-inclusive streaming solution featuring high-quality cameras, ease of use, great reliability, and minimal installation. Offering your sponsors customizable ad space on your streamed curling games and being able to sell video packages to your corporate events for increased revenue. With Curling Stadium, you can stream to any device, be it your mobile phone, tablet, or computer. Push the feed to your desired platform, be it Facebook, YouTube, or any other social media. Curling Stadium is simply the way forward. Where it's commonplace in other sports to televise every game, we want to do the same. Curling is a global sport, and it's time it gets the coverage it needs. Make your curling club the next Curling Stadium.